Okay, for this project I'm using a size H. It's a 5mm crochet hook. See that? And I'm using a Red Heart Super Saver 4-ply worsted weight acrylic. And then I have a piece of fabric, and you're going to need a piece of fabric. And I'm actually using bamboo handles for mine, and I got these off of an old bag that I got at a resale shop. And if you don't have these, you can always make your own handles or use whatever kind of handle that you want. And then you're going to need some regular thread and a needle for the fabric. Okay, I did mine previously. I worked on it and I made it black. And I knew you probably wouldn't be able to see me working with it that well. You can kind of see the pattern in it though. It's really cool. So I'm just going to show you real quick with a strand of white how to do that. How to do the splatter stitch. You need to, I started off with a chain of 44. That's what this big piece started out with, 44. But I'm going to show you on a little bit smaller of a scale. That way I don't have to go through the whole process that much again. But if you want it like mine, I started with a chain of 44. And if you want yours bigger or smaller, the splatter stitch requires multiples of 6. But then you need to add 2 more for the base chain, if that makes sense to you. So once you got your chain of 44, and remember mine's going to be shorter, you want to do a single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and remember that we never count the one that's on our hook. Single crochet, and then we're going to skip 2 stitches, so skip, skip, and then the next one we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet. And then chain 2, 1, 2, go back and do a double crochet in that same stitch, chain 2, and one more time a double in that same stitch. So what we just made is a little fan kind of, and that's pretty much what this stitch is made up of. Now we want to skip 2 stitches again, so skip, skip, and in this one right here, single crochet. Okay, skip 2 stitches, skip, skip, and in the next one we're going to do this fan stitch again. So we're going to go through and do a double, chain 2, go back in and do another double, chain 2, and then one more double, all in the same stitch, like that. And then we want to skip 2, skip, skip, and in the next one we'll do a single crochet, skip 2, skip, skip, and then this one we'll do our fan again. So we'll go back through and do a double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and one more double. Skip 2 and single crochet in the next. Skip 2 and we'll do our fan. So we'll do double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and one more double, skip 2, single crochet, skip 2, and we'll do our fan, double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and another double. And then you just want to repeat that to the end. I'm going to skip 2, and then my last one is going to be a single crochet. And remember, mine's not going to be as long the sample piece isn't as long as what I did, so if you have a few more, just go ahead and finish it out to the end. And you should have where you skip to, and then go ahead and put a single crochet in the last stitch, like that. So that's the first row. Okay, after that, we're going to go ahead and do a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that chain 5 is a double crochet and then 2 chain stitches. That's what that stands for. So we'll just go ahead and turn our work. So we got our double and a chain 2, and we want to go right back into this same stitch right here and do another double crochet. So we're kind of doing a half of a fan stitch now since we're on the end. So that's what we did. That chain 5, 3 of the chains is a double, the other 2 is the chain 2, and then we did a double back in the same stitch. So that's like half a fan right there. So now what we want to do is come over here to the middle double crochet of the 3 right here. So you got 3 in your fan, the middle one, and do a single crochet in top of it, like that. And then we're going to come over here to where our single crochet is from the previous row. So it's right down here, and that's where we're going to put our next fan stitch. So we're just going to go ahead and go right into the single and do a double, double, chain 2, and then go back in and do another double in the same stitch, chain 2, and then go back in and do one more double. So that we just did our fan stitch again, like that. Now we want to come over and find the middle double crochet of this fan right here, do a single crochet, and then we come over here and find the single crochet right down here from the previous row, and we'll go ahead and do our fan into it. So double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and another double, and then we come over here to the next fan stitch, single crochet in the middle, that, come over here and we find the next single crochet down here is right here, and we do our fan. So we're just going to repeat this pattern to the end. The stitch is really easy, but I think it looks really cool. It's a really pretty stitch. And there's the fan. And then we're right here, we need to do a single crochet in the middle. And then our fan stitch down here in this single crochet. And then single in the middle one here. And now we need to come down to this single crochet, and we're going to do another, since we're at the end, whenever you make it to the end, finish yours out to the end, and when you make it to the end, there's a single crochet from the previous round. We're going to do another half a fan stitch in it like we did down here. So what we're going to do is go do a double crochet into that single crochet, double, chain 2, and do another double, just like that. And then we want to chain 1, turn our work, So now we want to go ahead and do a single crochet in the very first stitch. Sorry, I was just looking at it for a minute, trying to single crochet right here in this very first stitch, like that. And then the single crochet from the previous round, we want to go ahead and work a fan into it. So it's right here. Double, chain 2, double, chain 2, double. Okay, and then the middle stitch of this fan, single crochet. And you can see it's starting to form a little circle patterns. And then we come over here to the single crochet from the previous round and do our fan. Chain 2, double, chain 2, double, and then single crochet in the middle stitch here. And then our fan down here in the single crochet. Single in the middle stitch. Fan stitch in the single crochet from the previous round. And we're just repeating this to the end. Single crochet. Fan right here in this single crochet from the previous round. And once you make it to the end and you do your last fan stitch here, you want to single crochet in the third stitch of this chain 5 that we did earlier, and the third chain, or the third stitch of it. You single crochet, just like that. So that is what it kind of looks like. And you'll start to see it a little better the more rows you do. Here's my piece from my bag, but it's really pretty. I don't know. I guess you just can't see it that well with the black. Okay, and then what we're going to do now is we're just going to repeat these rows that we've been doing. So since we just single crocheted in the third chain of that chain 5, so now what we want to do is chain 5 again. And turn our work, go back into the same stitch and do a double crochet. Because now we're just doing a half a fan, just like that. And then we're just going to work our way across, single crochet in this middle double, and then a fan stitch down here in the single, single, fan stitch, oops, single. I'm going to go ahead and get to the end here. a single. And then when you get to the end here, this single crochet here, you want to do a half of a fan. And you kind of want to, if you can, try to go through the, I guess it's not really important, but if you kind of can, go through the top of the turn chain. So it just makes it have a little bit straighter of an edge. So, like, I'm gonna wait for my camera to focus. And it's not focusing. But there's like the single crochet here. I always try to go over just a little bit into the turn chain and do it. I do a double, chain 2, and then another double, and that's a half a fan. And that just kind of makes it a little bit straighter on the edge. But this is all that we do from now on. We're just going to be repeating these rows, and it's going to start to look like, I think it kind of looks like a little snowflakes, but I do see why they call it the splatter stitch. Kind of looks like someone just threw something down and it went splattered. It's really cute. So we'll just continue with that, and I already did my big piece of fabric here. So I'm going to start with that. And I did a total of 30 rows. You can always do more if you want. But I did 30 because I'm going to fold it in half like this. So if you want yours bigger after you fold it in half, it's up to you. Okay, now I'm going to sew it together on the sides. And I'm sorry about the black yarn. I just really wanted to do it in black, so I hope you can follow along okay. So I'm going to start with the slip knot on my hook. And I'm going to fold it in half. If there's a certain side that you like better, I'm going to fold it, sew it inside out. The sides look the same to me, so I'm just going to sew it up on, it doesn't matter to me what side, and then I'm going to flip it inside out. So, and all I'm going to do is just start up here in the corner, match these corners up, and I'm just going to slip stitch it together. Maybe I can find the stitch to go into. Actually, you can slip stitch it. I think I'm gonna single crochet it together, since I'm gonna be slipping it inside out. So I'm just gonna go into the stitches, matching them up, and I'm just gonna single crochet all the way down the side. And if you want slip stitch, that's fine too. You can even use a yarn needle if you wanted. It's up to you. So I'm just taking a stitch from this piece, and then a stitch from this piece, and then I'm just doing a single crochet. That. So I'm just going to do this all the way down my piece of fabric. Sewing it up all the way down this side, and then I'm going to clip off, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to single crochet this side together. I got my side sewed up, and then I just flipped it inside out so you can't see the seam. And now I want to work up at the top here. So I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. And you can kind of tell that one top part is wavy and the other one's not. It's straight. So I'm going to start with the wavy top part, and I'm going to make it flat. Try to anyways. And I'm just going to work around the bag too. So I'm going to start right here at the beginning of this fan stitch that's at the top. I'm going to go into, I'm sorry that it's so black. Here's the fan stitch. I'm going to go right here and like right along the seam. and I'm going to go through that slip knot on my hook. Now I'm going to do a chain 2, and that's kind of going to count as a half a double. So what I'm going to kind of do is do some half doubles in the dips. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, which is the double crochet of this span, and do a single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet in this space, single crochet in the top of this double crochet, single crochet into this space, single crochet into this double crochet, and then when I get down here to where this single crochet is, I'm going to do a half double in that since it's lower, and that kind of straightens out the top a little bit. I guess not perfect, but it's going to work. And then I'm going to go into the next double crochet, single, single in the chain space, single in the next double, single in the next chain space, single in the next double, and then half double down here in this single crochet. Just like that. So it's making it straighter, I guess. And then I want to single in the next double, single in the chain space, single in the next double, single in the chain space, single in the next double, and then half double in the single crochet. So what I'm doing all the way across, just this side that's wavy, that has the fans visible, I'm doing a single crochet in the top of this double, a single crochet in the space, single crochet in this double, single crochet in the space, single crochet in this double, and then I'm doing a half a double down here in the single crochet, the bottom where it dips down. And I'm going to do that all the way across until I get to I'll meet you up over here. Once I made it to my next seam spot, this is all straightened up. I'm just going to keep going around doing, now I'm just going to do one single crochet in every stitch across because this part's pretty flat. That was our beginning chain. So I'm just going to go across doing one single crochet in every stitch, just like this. And I just want to do this until I get to the end, or until I get to where we started before. Okay, I made it back to the beginning, and I'm at where I did my first chain 2. I just want to go, I'm going to use a stitch marker because we're going to work in rounds of single crochet now. And if it's easier for you to keep track, I'm just going to use a piece of yarn. I'm going to stick it right here. That way I know where I begin and where I end. And I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet in the top of that chain 2. That, and then I'm just going to work around. And I'm going to do one single crochet in every stitch, all the way around my piece of fabric until I get back to the beginning, to where my stitch marker is. Just one in each stitch. Okay, I made it back to my stitch marker. So now I'm just going to move my stitch marker up, and I'm going to continue to go around again with another row of single crochet, one in each stitch. And I'm just going to keep doing a few rows of it until I get the brim part of my bag as high as I want it. So I'm just going to continue doing rounds of single crochet, and I'll let you know here in a few minutes how many total rows I do. I went ahead and did a total of 6 rows of single crochet, and then I made it back to my stitch marker, so I'm just going to slip stitch into the next single crochet to end that round. And I'm going to tie off, and I'm going to hide my tail real quick. Okay, so that is what I have so far. I guess this looks like a black, can't really see it probably, but okay, I'm going to show you how to line it real quick. You get your piece of fabric and fold it in half. And then put your bag down here, and I always leave like ½ inch or so on the edges. You don't need to really leave any on the bottom since it's already folded down there. You won't have to do no sewing down here, so line it up even with the bottom. And then on this side you want to do about ½ inch or so, so you want to get a nice pair of sharp scissors and just cut it and leave about ½ inch or so, like I said. Then cut it off here like that, and then you want to do the same. Let's see here. We want to do the same for the top too. Go ahead and leave a little bit on the top. That way we can fold it over. But I'm not gonna. You can, if you want, you can sew it all the way on the inside up to the brim. I like to sew it a little below the brim, so I'm going to cut it down a little bit farther, but it's up to you. If you want to sew, make your fabric come up to the top here, you cut it off there, or leave it to where you can fold over a little bit and sew it. I want to make mine go down, I think, let me think about it, a little bit farther down, so I'm just going to cut it appropriately where I can leave about ½ inch or so to fold under. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the top part off here. Okay, it's not really that straight, but that's okay. Okay, now what we want to do is turn it inside out. If you know a different way to line, by all means you can do it any way you want. But now what we have to do is sew up the sides, and it's much easier with the sewing machine. I don't have one, so I'm going to do it by hand, which is kind of time consuming. So make sure you get a good thread that matches. I gotta find my desk is so messy. Find my sewing needle. Oh my. You guys are probably laughing right now. Okay. Load up your thread here. And then I'm going to pull it down. Give me a nice long piece to start with. And I see I doubled it. So I'm just going to put a knot here in the end. Roll it through my fingers. Pull it. And then you'll have a knot. And that's what we're going to start with. So remember, we left about ½ inch on each side. I'm going to kind of line it up on my bag. And I got my fabric inside out. So all I'm going to do is just kind of start sewing up the fabric and sewing this side shut by hand, and I'm going to do it as neatly as, keep my stitches as neat as possible. Like I said, sewing machine's much easier. I wish I had one, but maybe someday I'd like to get one. So I'm just going to sew this up. Not quite all the way to the top because we're going to have to fold down the top to sew it on, but inch or so from the top. I'm going to do it on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, I guess. You guys probably don't want to watch me the whole time. Pretty boring. Okay, I'm going to keep going, and just like this until I get about an inch or so from the top. Okay, I sewed up both my sides here, and I left about an inch from the top. If you want to trim off some of this extra to get it to fit inside, you can. I'm just going to trim off a little bit. And then see if I can get it in here. Just put it on in here like this. Still got the outside facing out because you want to be able to, when you open it, to see the inside. So put it in here. And if you need to trim some more off the sides, you can until it fits. Just got to work with it for a minute to get it to lay down flat. Get it all the way to the bottom. Okay. Now you're going to need some pins to hold it in place here. So, I always just take it now and fold. See, now when we open it up, we're going to see the inside of the liner. So I fold it down to where I want to sew it to, like that, and then I'll pin it in place. Like that. And I'm going to do this all the way around. And make sure, try to get it as straight as you can. And then I'm going to come over here to the corner. Fold the corners down. I just got to work with it to get it to lay flat. It takes a... work it around. Okay, and then just pin it all the way around your piece of fabric where you want to sew it. I'm sewing mine down a little bit. You can bring it up to the top if you want. It's up to you. Flip this over and see where I got it. Still on the 5th row. Okay, once you get it all pinned up in there, just thread up your needle again the same way we just did, and I'm going to sew it on. So you're going to start wherever. Make sure you get a thread that matches, and I'm just going to sew it right up here at the edge, right through. And I'm going to go around, down, across. Just sewing it just like we did. Just going right through the fabric in the front. Try to keep your stitches straight if you can. If you have a sewing machine, it's going to be easier. So this is what I'm going to do all the way around, just hand stitching my fabric on. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. And since we folded it, we got a nice clean edge on it. So I'm just going to keep working all the way around, getting this top part sewed on. I worked with it, took me a little bit, but I got that lining in there. Looks pretty good. I think I got it pretty straight, but again, it's not going to be perfect when you do it by hand, so don't be hard on yourself. Okay, now I'm going to sew on my handles. If you have these, if not, you can just use, well, you can make handles if you want, or whatever you want to do for the handles. But I got these, I don't remember if I told you, but off an old purse. But I think you can get these on the internet too. I think you can get them online on eBay and stuff. So, but if you do decide to do handles like this, you just kind of decide where you're going to put them. Try to get them about, you can count and make sure the stitches are exact if you want, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And then all I do is just use a yarn needle and thread, and I just sew it on with some few stitches. That's all I do. Go through it a few times until they're on tight. So I'm going to go ahead and do this with my handles real quick. I got them handles sewed on, and I got some beads here that I'm just going to, that kind of match the liner, and I'm just going to sew them on this handle here. That's it. That's all I'm going to do to this bag, and I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I hope you were able to follow along okay. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you always get emails on when I upload a new tutorial. Don't forget to check out all my other tutorials, and you can check me out on Facebook too. And until next time, have a good day.